So here we are in part 3 of the tutorial, and this is where we're going to set up our approach. We're going to assume that we've listened to the weather in Saint John and that it's favoring an ILS 23 approach. So that's what we're going to select. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do to set this up is I'm going to click Approach on our autopilot. I'm also going to click Altitude Select, and that means that we'll have full control over our altitude. And we're still going to follow our routing and everything, plus when we hit the DTO button, the direct to the waypoint that we select, which is ideal when you're cleared for the approach. So the next thing, we hit Menu on the FMS, hit Arrive, and for Saint John we select that soft key, and we want to enter 2, hit Enter. We also want to go via Goxos, that's from our direction, it makes the most sense. So we're going to hit number 2 again, and we're going to hit Enter. Once we do that, we hit Flight Plan or FPL, and then we hit the Flight Plan button to get back to this page. And if you skip between pages, you'll see that our approach is put in there, and we don't need to follow those altitudes. We're going to go by what's on the plate. The plate does show 2,200 for our DME arc, and also that would be our procedure turn if we were doing a different type of entry. So now's a good time to go over the plate and set up our frequencies for the approach. It's very important that we enter all the information correctly for our radio aids, and also that we understand the chart and we understand what altitudes we can go to. I'm just setting up my next descent to the 100 nautical miles safe altitude of 3,800 feet, so when we choose to descend, it's going to go there, and not beyond that until I decide to do so. Alright, so we hit this button there, it gets our cursor down to the nav part. Then we adjust our frequency in the standby spot to 110.5. It's kind of tricky to get the most just in the right spot to make it work, but that's what we have to do. Swap it out, and we're going to set our nav 1 to a dent once we're close enough and in range to hear it, so we'll hear the Morse code for that. Looking on our chart, our inbound course is 230, so we're going to set that up now. I'm going to adjust my heading first, because that'll give me a number of 230 up top in the magenta color, and then I'll adjust my green line to that as well, because then I can see it. The problem is when you have your GPS as your main navigation, you have your GPS in GPS mode, not VLOC. The course just shows whatever your course is that your GPS is on, if that makes sense. So that number doesn't change, so I have to try to make it as precise as possible. 230 is pretty easy, but that's just why I choose to set both the heading and course to the same thing. Just makes it simple. And now we can also program our Saint John N.B in off the plate. We can put that in as our FAF. Well, it is our FAF. And we can put that into our ADF here. 212. And then we just swap out the frequencies. And we can also set that to ident as soon as possible. So we'll hear that once we get close enough. And now just click the button here to change it from nav to ADF, and that's going to give us an indication of when we pass over the FAF, and we can report beacon inbound if we were actually doing a real flight. So that's it for part 3 of the tutorial. That just shows us our setup for the approach. Please watch part 4 if you like, and you can see the rest of the flight and what we do. But I hope this was helpful, and thanks again for watching.